Hi guys, Emma here from Yellow Brick Road, helping you build your confidence whilst I am building my own. So I have a couple of questions for you today. So the first being, would you like to increase your confidence? Would you like to increase your self-esteem and the belief that you have in yourself? Because if you would, I want you to carry on watching this video because I've got a few tips further on in this video that are going to help you do just that. One of the key things that I believe that we struggle with when it comes to self-belief, self-worth, self-confidence is when we start comparing ourselves to everybody else and looking outside of where we're at and checking out what everybody else has got, what everybody else is doing. And I really think that has a negative effect on our confidence. So I want to refer to my notes so I don't forget anything. I feel we all fall into this trap, and I'm going to call it the comparison corner, where we tend to put ourselves in this little corner and we're looking out at everybody else, seeing what everybody else is doing, watching what everyone else is achieving, and doubting ourselves and doubting our abilities. We feel underachievers because we're maybe not at that point yet where everybody else is. I know, being a mum, and a lot of my mum friends, we all do this. So when it comes to parenting skills, we're looking at other parents and how they parent their children, and if we're doing it in the right way, or comparing what we're doing to what they're doing. Finances, why have other people got more than what you've got, and comparing that. Looking at if someone's better looking, or if they're fitter, or if they're healthier, or whatever. Constantly comparing yourself to others. And if, like I say, you're not matching up, you then start to doubt yourself and doubt your abilities. So I want to talk about a few things that we can do to try and eliminate this kind of comparison that we're all constantly doing. So I put here, one of the first things you can think about doing is watering your own grass instead of anybody else's. That is a bit of a metaphor, but what I mean by that is thinking about yourself rather than putting the emphasis on everybody else and worrying about what everyone else is getting up to. I put here, we beat ourselves up for not being like everyone else. Focusing on someone else's garden isn't going to grow your garden. So don't focus on their business and what they're getting up to. Spend time investing and caring for yourself so that you put yourself in a better place to achieve the things that you want to achieve. Make sure you're directing your energy to the right place. The second thing is accepting where you're at. Now, I think this is a big thing, because if we're not where we want to be, if our circumstances aren't what we want, what's going on in our life isn't what we want, we believe that that's it and there's nowhere we can go from that. But it's not the case. But unless we address where we're at, we can't make the changes to move forward. So I put, you can't fix something that you don't believe isn't. If you can't fix something that you don't believe needs fixing. Okay, so it's really a case of, thinking about where you're at, looking at where you want to go, and then putting the plan in place to get there. You need to assess and understand where you're at this moment in time and accept that. What's happened in your life up to now has got you to the point that you're at today. That doesn't mean it has to stay the same. You can change it, because you can change your beliefs. You can change your behaviours. You can change your behaviours, which over time are going to change your habits, which is going to put you in a different place. So it can all be changed, but until you accept where you're at now and put a plan in place to move forwards, you're not going to make those changes. I've put, be grateful for what you have. And I've spoke about a gratitude journal a few times now, but I think this is so important. We're forever looking at other people and seeing what other people have got, and not actually looking at ourselves and seeing what we've got. Now, from the simplest things like your clothes, having your friends around you, having family around you, people around you that love you, having a fridge full of food, or you can go and open the fridge and get something out to eat. You can turn the tap on and you can have a glass of water. Some of these things are life and death to other people around the world, and we completely take them for granted. So it's really important on those days when you're comparing yourself and you're feeling low and you're feeling uncertain, as to where you're going and you know what the path is for you, you have to have gratitude for what you have got, because we've all got something to be hugely grateful for. I've put for number 4, turn comparison into inspiration. So if I go back to my story of my friends that have got the property abroad, it's an inspiration to me. I look at that and think, wow, look what they've achieved. That's a huge achievement for them. I would love to achieve that. So how can I go about doing it? It becomes I become inspired by it. It becomes, you know, sort of it's so inspirational to see people do that. And if you can turn it and flip it around that way, it will completely change things for you. I've put here, true success doesn't come easy. We focus on the success. We don't see the hours of work and the continued effort and commitment that's gone in to achieving that success. And finally, compare yourself to yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. I've got a couple of questions for you. So what can you do to improve your life? What can you do to build yourself up? How can you be better today than you were yesterday? So I find myself, I ask myself these sorts of questions all of the time, because it just gets me thinking on what it is I need to do to achieve the things that I want to achieve. I've put here, the focus, if you do this, moves from you, moves from them to you. And that's where it needs to be if you want to build your confidence, if you want to build your self-esteem and your self-worth. You need to be focusing on you, where you're at the minute and where it is that you're looking to go. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this has added some value to you, and have a lovely day. I'll catch up with you next week. Take care.